Hey guys, so today I'm here to talk about my top 10 favorite series. This was a very hard list to make. I did try to rank them from 1 to 10, but it was kind of hard to do. I also decided to only include series that I've completely finished with. So let's get started. Okay, coming in at number 10, you can probably guess because half my shelf is now missing, is the Mortal Instruments series by Cassandra Clare. Of course, this was just recently completed with City of Heavenly Fire. This one is not appearing higher on the list because of the fact that when I first read City of Bones back probably about a year and a half ago, I really did not enjoy it much. I mean, I gave it like 3.5 stars, but I just really didn't enjoy it. But everyone kept telling me to go on because the series gets better. And so I decided a few months later I did continue on with City of Ashes. And I did enjoy it a lot more. I have very fond memories reading this book. Like, it's one of my favorite in the series just because of the memories of reading it and just really enjoying it. Coming in at number 9 is the Divergent trilogy by Veronica Roth, or the Divergent duology as I like to call it, because I'm trying to forget that this book even happened. Part of the reason this doesn't appear higher on the list is because I wasn't really too fond of this third book. I really, really love the first two. Actually, I think I liked Insurgent more than Divergent. I read them back a while back, and I read Insurgent right when it came out, so I had to wait 18 months for Legion to come out. So I was pretty upset by the book. But yeah, I had to include it on the list because I obviously love the first two books in the series. Okay, coming in at number 8 is the Legend trilogy by Marie Lu. I read this fairly recently, I guess. I read Legend and I wasn't completely blown away by it, but then I read Prodigy and I loved it, and Champion was good too. So yeah, that's why this one is number 8. Coming in at number 7 is the Match trilogy by Ali Condi. Now this one might come as a bit of a surprise because I honestly don't talk about this that much. But yes, I really enjoyed it, and now I realize that I'm kind of alone on being a fan of this series because I'm realizing how many people either don't like it or just thought it was okay, but I personally thought it was amazing. And I'm really glad I read it when I did, because I read it a while back, because I think I wouldn't have picked it up after I had heard that it wasn't a very popular series. This is a dystopian world where basically everything is decided for you, who you marry, what job you're going to have. I really, really did enjoy this series a lot. And I would definitely recommend it because I know I feel like a lot of people might be turned off by it because there's so many negative reviews that I hear of it, but I would definitely recommend it. I don't think it's for everybody, but if you like dystopian, I would definitely not rule it out to read. Next series is the Delirium trilogy by Lauren Oliver. I don't really have too much to say about this, I guess. It's also a dystopian where love is considered to be a disease, and actually this was supposed to be turned into a TV show, but it got canceled. However, today the pilot for the TV show was just put on Hulu, I think for a month. So if you enjoyed this and you really want to see that first episode, I thought it was pretty good. Go check it out on Hulu. And I also really love Lauren Oliver as an author. I don't think I've read a single thing that I didn't like by her. Her writing style is really, really good. Okay, the next series I have is a very recently read series. I just completed a week or so ago, and that is the Unearthly trilogy by Cynthia Hond. And these are some of the prettiest covers. If I was ranking this series by series that I like the covers the most, this would be number 1. So, yes. This series is also not super well known. It's about angels, and I haven't ever read a series like that. I generally don't read paranormal and stuff, but I decided to try this series, and it was really good. Next series should come at no surprise, and it's the Hunger Games trilogy by Suzanne Collins. This would appear higher on the list if it wasn't for Mockingjay. I did not enjoy this third book a whole lot, but I really, really, really loved the first 2 books and the movies and everything. But I feel like this would be number 1 if Mockingjay hadn't dragged it down a little bit. But oh well. I still really, really love this series. This is the series that really got me into reading. I didn't do a lot of reading until I read this series, and obviously see where this led. This next series might come as a bit of surprise that it's on this list, but is the Selection trilogy by Kiera Cass. And I am very aware that this is not the best series out there, but I think it's the most addictive because I devoured this series Each of these books I probably read in like a couple of days. The one I read in like less than 24 hours. And I do agree that the main character can get really frustrating at times, but I really, really love this series a lot. So that's why it's number 3. And coming in at number 2 is the Infernal Devices series by Cassandra Clare. This series, I liked it a ton better than The Mortal Instruments. Like, Clockwork Princess is probably my favorite book ever. This series a ton more than The Mortal Instruments. So if you've read The Mortal Instruments and maybe didn't enjoy it as much, I definitely would not rule out picking up the Infernal Devices because it is just so good. The love triangle is just probably one of the best love triangles. No, it's probably the best love triangle I've ever read. And I just can't say enough good things about this. So that's why it's number 2. And this should come at no surprise to anybody, but my favorite series of all time is Harry Potter by J.K. Rowling. One thing about Harry Potter, I know a lot of people, most of the time when they put it at number 1, they're like, oh, it was my childhood, it's what started me into reading, which actually did get me into reading, along with The Hunger Games, but I actually read this when I was a junior in high school, which was like almost 3 years ago now, but still, that's relatively not very long ago, when I know that people have, like, read this since when they were children, but I really, really, really love this series. I'm sure most of you, if not all of you, have read this and loved it too. But it's it's so magical. I know that's really cliche, but... So that's it, guys. So that's my top 10 favorite series. Let me know what some of your favorite series are down in the comments down below. And I will see you again next time. Goodbye!